I'm Judy and welcome to today's Posture and Back Resilience class. Today is the fifth and final installment of this class for this month, and so today we're going to advance some of the exercises that we've been working on this month. So you may find some exercises to be a little bit more challenging. That's okay if you don't quite feel comfortable with them yet. You can always use one of the modifications that we did previously, and again today I'll also try to show some modifications that make these exercises both easier or more difficult. So before we get started, let's go over what equipment we need. Today is pretty simple. We just need our mat and some dumbbells. I was doing this workout earlier and I found that 3-pound dumbbells were fine. Heavier is okay too, but light is totally, you'll find that you might want a lighter dumbbell during this. Okay, great. So because today is a little bit more of an advanced workout, we're going to be combining some things. So for instance, the mobility and the breathing portions will be combined together. We will also go through a muscle activation and strength section just as usual. This section you could also repeat on your own using the video later on. If you want a more intense workout, you could repeat it once or twice for 3 times through. And then we'll wrap up with a part 2 of mobility once we're all warmed up, and then we'll have some breathing at the end. So that's our agenda today. All right, so to get started, our combined breathing and mobility 1 section, we're going to come down to the mat and do a bear crouch cat-cow. So again, we're trying to combine different exercises to both save time and increase the difficulty here. So into a tabletop position, tuck your toes under, float your knees up off the ground about 1 inch, and then you're gonna do cat-cows from here, exhaling to cat and inhaling to cow. Now if this bothers your arms or shoulders or wrists, you could always just drop those knees back down to the ground. So we're gonna do 5 of these total, so a couple more. Inhale to the cow, exhale to the cat. 1 more for good measure, inhale and exhale. Good, and then lower down. Excellent. Next we'll come up to standing, and we're going to do sun salutations with a couple of different standing yoga poses, and these are to help us with axial extension. And we'll also do a basic vinyasa that includes a baby cobra instead of like a full up dog for now. This is because we'll do the full version of the vinyasa later at the end of the workout once we're all warmed up. Okay, so we're starting at one end of our mat, big toes together and standing up nice and tall. Inhale the arms overhead, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands and just step your left foot back. Okay, you're going to be in a crescent lunge here. Back knee is up if possible. If you have to drop the knee, that's okay. If you can stay up, you're going to reach the arms forward off the ground and then bring your arms and torso upright. So here is your crescent lunge from yoga. The weight is on the heel of the front foot, the back leg is nice and straight, the hips are neutral. Good, hold here for a breath, and then you're going to pivot on the back foot so that the heel comes down at about a 20-degree angle and coming into your extended side angle pose. So today we're not doing the gate pose. The extended side angle pose is just a little bit more difficult version of that. Good, and then from here we're going to do our vinyasa. So come on down with the hands to frame that front foot, step back into plank, and then you're gonna inhale, shift forward, exhale, lower all the way down. You can always just do this on your knees instead if that's better for your shoulders. Squeeze the elbows and the shoulder blades together. Inhale as you lift just the chest, not the rib cage. And then exhale, push back up and back into your downward facing dog. Good, if the downward facing dog is not appropriate for you, you can just do child's pose here instead. Okay, so we started with the left foot stepping back earlier, so now we're going to inhale the left leg up and exhale, step it forward. Okay, now we're going to come into a crescent lunge on this side. So a little bit of balance, muscle activation required even for this mobility section. Great. Okay, and then pivot the back heel down and coming into your extended side angle pose on this side. So I'm doing both directions so that you can see the front and back of me when I'm doing this exercise. Good. And then come on down into your plank pose again. Inhale, shift forward, exhale, one piece down to the ground. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale, push up and back into downward facing dog. From here, if you're in downward facing dog, you'll soften the knees and step or float to the front of the mat. Otherwise, if you're in child's pose, you're just going to step and come up that way. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. So we're going to do that one more time, except leading with the right leg this time, okay? I'll try to walk you through the different modifications again. Inhale, overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands on the ground. This time, step back with your right leg first into that crescent lunge. Use your abs to secure your balance and then reach forward and up. Again, if you need to come down to your knees, that's okay. If you can, manage to stay up, that's even better. Good. And then now we're going to pivot the heel down and reach into our extended side angle pose. Nice long stretch here. Fingertips to the outer blade of the back foot. Good. Circle that arm down. Frame the front foot and exhale, step back to your plank position. Inhale as you shift forward on your toes. You just push forward like that, and that gives you good alignment to exhale. Come down all the way to the ground into your baby cobra as you inhale. And then here again, you can exhale back to child's pose or exhale up to downward facing dog. Okay, we started with the right foot this time. So inhale, lift the right leg up, and exhale, step it to the inside of your right thumb. Inhale as you reach the arms forward and up, crescent pose. Good. Trying to keep the ribs in, so we're not quite doing a back bend like this for this. We're trying to do more of a neutral spine for our purposes today for our posture class. And then pivot the heel down, coming into your extended side angle pose. Just like the gate pose, we're going to keep the shoulders away from the ears, and the rib cage is not going to be popping forward. It's going to be pulled in nice and tight, engaging all of our abs. Good, and then circle that arm down, frame the front foot. Exhale, step back to your plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, all the way down, flowing through your vinyasa here. Inhale to baby cobra. Exhale to child's pose or downward facing dog. Okay, and from here you can step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Nice neutral spine even here, aiming for axial extension with your torso. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. Next, we're moving into our muscular activation and strengthening section. So to start, we'll do some ice capades, which we've done before, and we're going to combine them with those eccentric marches that we did last time. So remember last time we did these and then like really slow release, right? And that made it a little more difficult than letting gravity kind of let the leg come down. Now we're going to do it with ice capades. So if you'll recall, they look like this, like a skater on ice. So your arm and leg are in a diagonal line, and then you're going to exhale, bring the elbow and knee towards each other quickly, and then slowly release the leg down, okay? I was watching a video of myself doing this, and it feels like you're going a lot slower than you really are. So go even slower than you think your slowest speed is. Yeah. Good, so we're gonna do about 10 on each side. Let's say this is 4 here, exhale, and then slowly down. Good, here's 5. Very good. Also focusing on axial extension here. Nice long spine. Good. All right, here's 8. Great. And 9. You can always touch the ground with a toe too if you need to. And 10. All right, great. Who's already sweating? Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side. Okay, so balancing on the balanced foot is going to be at a 45-degree angle. I forgot to mention that for the first side. You're going to have most of your weight on that leg, even if you do tap down in between repetitions. And exhale together, and then slowly come out of it. 2, and slowly reach, and 3. Good. And 4. Great balance. And 5. You know, balance is one of those first things to go. 6, when we're staying indoors all the time, unfortunately. 7, but it's also something that I've seen come back. Here's 8. For folks of all different ages. 9, if you work on it. And last one. Good. So balance is definitely a good thing to have a growth mindset about rather than fixed mindset. Excellent job. Okay, so next we're going to come back down to the ground. This is, it looks easier than it is. You may see me toppling over a couple of times. Maybe that'll make you feel better. Okay. Trust me, it's not because I'm doing it on purpose. Okay, so we're going to do, I'll demonstrate what the full version is first, and then give you the modifications if needed. So we're going to do a bear crouch, just like we started in the beginning with the cat-cows, and then from here we're going to do bird dogs. Opposite, opposite, okay? Obviously, if that is not going to work for you, just keep your knees on the ground, yeah? So if so, you'll probably be able to do them more quickly. If you do the full version, we're going to do 10 on each side, okay? So if you're doing more quickly, just keep going, do it, do more repetitions than the rest of us, okay? All right, get ready. So planting the arms, hands, lifting up the knees, abs are tight, and then reach and reach. Good, that's 1 and 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5, 5, trying to keep the hips low, 6 and 6, 7, ideally you're flexing your foot, 7, which I'm not doing every time, 8 and 8, 9 and 9, here's 10 and 10. Great job. Let's reward you with a child's pose here. Not on the program, but you deserve it. Okay, so the next one is a side plank with leg circles. Okay, there are ways to make this easier. There are ways to make this harder, okay? What it looks like is this. All right, so coming into a side elbow plank, you can have your arm up or on your hip, and then you lift one leg, you circle it in one direction, small circles for 10, and then circle it in the other direction for 10. So obviously that does put pressure on the shoulder, so if that isn't right for you, just come into gate pose and do the same thing. So then you have more weight supported on your leg, okay? If you do want to make that harder, I'm not going to demonstrate it today, but you could always put an ankle weight on your leg. You can always hold a dumbbell up at the same time that you're doing the leg circles too. Yeah, so there are different ways to add more resistance. I'm not going to do those today. I think it will be enough work just to do what I had in mind. Okay, so we're going to do, on each side, we're going to do 10 circles in each direction, okay? I advise that you start on your non-dominant side, so I'm mirroring you. This would be your left side, yeah, that we're starting with. If you're right-handed, I think you will appreciate that. Okay, so coming into a nice stable side plank, floating the top leg up, tiny circles for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, reverse the circle, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very nice. Other side. Okay, same thing. Coming on up. Your side plank. Sorry, you can come up to the side plank first and then flip the leg up. 10 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1. Very nice. All right, great work. So the next one, we're going to come up to a standing position, back to balance, okay? This is where we're using our dumbbells. Again, lighter is probably going to be better. You could also just try doing this without weights. And this is the one where, because it's a balance-oriented exercise, you could always have a chair close by if you wanted to use one hand to hold on for balance, okay? But this is what it looks like. Let me try to decide which leg to go first. Okay, let's do left first. Okay, so you're gonna float your right leg up, like so, until you're in a warrior 3. And then you're gonna do your flies like this, like you are a bird flying. 10 of these. 3 and 4. If I look at you, I'm gonna fall. So 5. I'm gonna trust you are doing good form right here. 6 and 7. So your torso ideally is in somewhat of a straight line with your leg. 8, 9, and 10. Good. Woo. Oh yeah. Are we even halfway through yet? Almost. Okay. All right. So other leg. Okay. Luckily, we're only doing the circuit once together in this class. Those of you who like extra punishment, you can go ahead and repeat it on your own with the video. Okay. So other leg up. Flex the foot, and that'll help you use more muscles in that leg to hold it up so it's not dead weight for you. 10 of these. 3 and 4. 5 and 6. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great. So you saw I was struggling a little bit over there. As soon as I remember to use my abs again, it settled down again. So tip for you as well in the future. Okay. So we're on to exercise number 5, 5 out of 8, plus a bonus exercise. Okay, so this one is a full get up. If you want to try a harder version, you can have a dumbbell close by. We'll use that for maybe a couple of the repetitions. Okay, so you'll recall we've done things like these stand-ups before, right? And then last time, we also did something that I called a half get up. Let me see what side I want to do first. I think this is good. Okay, so it looks like this. Up. Oh, I want to do the other side, like that, right? We did this last time. Okay, so now we're going to combine the two of those together. So you can just go ahead and come onto the ground with me and we'll just walk through it. We're going to do 8 on each side. Okay, so onto the ground. You're going to raise your right knee up and right arm up. And using your ab muscles and maybe a little help from your arm, you can come up to seated, keeping this right arm raised the whole time. And then from here, if it's okay for your shoulder, you're going to come up to a little half side plank. Sneak that left leg under. And hey, you're in position for a stand up here. Yes, and you just stand on up. Okay, and then you're going to bring the left leg back and then arm down and then leg out, sit and down. Now, parts of that chain of action are just not appropriate for you today. You can always just choose either the half get up or the stand up. So you could just choose to do half of this exercise, whichever half you think needs more work. So this part is more abs and arms, and then the stand-up part is obviously more glutes and legs. So you can still make this a productive time. Okay, so let's do 7 more on this side. Up, through, and stand. Good. Okay. 6 more on this side. That's why we kind of piece together, I piece together these workouts because I know it's all like stepping stones in some ways. So, and it's pretty fast to, progress through different levels just in a week. So that's not really realistic, but just from for my filming schedule, it kind of is what it pans out to. Good. Okay, so that was 5 on the first side. If you want to make it any harder, you can just hold a dumbbell or a water bottle in that right arm. We'll do 3 more if you want to do this option. I'm just showing you, you're keeping the arm overhead, not behind you at all. It's kind of in your peripheral vision so that you don't put too much pressure on your shoulder or your back. Okay, 2 more on this side. Good. And 1 more. Don't forget to breathe. Good. Okay, great. Just to be even, let's set the weight aside if you used one for the first 5 on the other side. So now your left knee and your left arm will be up, and then you're gonna sit up and then come up. So if you were doing just the get-ups earlier, the standing part, maybe you just start with the other leg now and do the other side. Or you could just work on the sitting up part now that we're doing the other side. Good. So many options. Good. Here's 4. Good. And 5. So no Frankensteins today. This is kind of incorporate some of the work that we would do for that. Okay, and if you'd like, if you did it on the other side, just go ahead and grab that dumbbell. 3 more with the dumbbell overhead. Great work. 2 more. Good. And just 1 more. Very nice work. Okay, we are on to exercise number 6 already. Okay, so you definitely have options for this. We're going to do 30 seconds of a crab walk, okay? So the full version looks like this. Okay, you're gonna be up like this, touching opposite arm, hand to shin or foot. It just depends on your limb length. If your legs are longer, then maybe you can only touch your shin. If your arms are longer, maybe you can touch your foot. If that's not appropriate for your shoulder, you just keep your seat on the ground and then tap opposite. Okay, and then you just try to go as fast as you can to get your heart rate up. We're doing 30 seconds. Ready in 3, 2, and go for it. Perfect. Yeah, we got something for everyone. Good. Keep breathing. Yeah, and see how high you can keep your seat. Good. Almost there. 3 more seconds. And rest. Great work. Okay, on to exercise number 7. We have, it's better to demonstrate, but it's a 3-legged dog with glute pulses. Just thinking about modifications. So here is the main version. All right, so you're gonna come into downward facing dog, lift one leg up, and then come into a plank, and then pulse. Yeah? And then come back up. And then switch, so then you would end up doing 5 times on each leg. So if you can't do that for your shoulders or anything else really, you can simply just go onto like a knee plank if that's appropriate for you, and then just lift your leg like that 10 lifts like that, and then alternate, and then you're gonna do 5 sets of 10 on each leg, okay? So if you need to add an ankle weight to make that harder because you're doing it on your knees, that would be a smart thing to do, yeah? If you feel like it's gonna be too easy otherwise, okay? All right, otherwise, let's go ahead with this version. So come on up, inhale the left leg up, come forward to your plank, 3-legged plank, and pulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick on back, set the leg down, and then other leg comes up. Inhale forward, pulsing 1, 2. So you're trying to feel your right glute working here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and kick back. Other leg. Here's number 2. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 2 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Trying really hard not to hyperextend my elbows today. Good. And then back. Here's number 3. Inhale forward, pulsing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and back. Good. Over to the right leg. Inhale forward, pulsing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. 2 more on each side, I think. You know me, I lose count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and kick on back. Good. Right leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and kick on back. 1 more on each side. Whew. Inhale up. Arms are getting tired, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and kick it up. Other side, last one. Inhale forward, and 10, 9, 8, 7. Yeah, I see my seat was a little too high, so make sure your body's in one line. Good, and exhale, kick back. Okay, definitely deserve a child's pose. Take a couple of breaths. Dab the sweat off your face. Okay, great. Okay, so we are on to the last official exercise, which is just a chair pose, okay? So it's a classic yoga pose. It looks like this from the side. Actually, I'll just do all of it from the side. So you're going to hold that for 5 breaths, and then we're going to do 3 of them, okay? So you're going to have your big toes together. You're going to inhale your arms up, and then just hold for 1 and 2. If your knees start to bother, you can always come on up and then back into the position once you shake that out. Good. And 5. Good. Okay, 2 more of those. Inhale up and exhale. 2. Make sure the weight is mostly in your heels for this version. Sometimes I'll have folks do this on their toes, or on the balls of your feet, but today we're doing it on your heels. Good, and then come on up. Last time. Inhale up and exhale. 2 and exhale. 3 and exhale. 4 and exhale. Last one, 5 and up on the exhale. Whew. Should feel that burn, right? On the quads. Okay, great. We're on to the bonus exercise. So this one, it's a bonus because I can't reliably do it. The chances of me falling over are pretty high. So this might get cut from the video. Okay. So if you have a chair next to you, you can use that if you don't have yoga blocks. What it is an airplane. Okay. Okay, so you're going to start, we're going to start this way because my left leg is more secure. Okay. All right, this is as much mental as anything. Okay, so you're going to come up into a warrior 3, okay? Actually, I should make a better example. In the video I shot earlier, the blocks were a little too low for me. So you kind of want your torso to be in a straight line as your legs. Yeah, in my video that I shot earlier, it was like more like this, and that was not really correct. Okay, so you're starting like this, back toe pointed down, and then you're gonna rotate and open up till your hips are stacked and your shoulders are stacked on top of each other. And then you're gonna come on down and rotate everything in. Okay, I'm not going to look at you as I rotate because I will definitely fall. Okay, so we're gonna do 4 more of these on this side. So rotate. I usually just find one point to focus on the mat, and that's called your drishti. You just softly gaze at that, and that kind of helps with your balance for any of these poses. Okay, here's 3. Good. Really trying to pretend you're between 2 panes of glass, just like a lot of other poses we've worked on this month. Okay, 2 more on this side. Good. And rotate down. So you should really feel this in your left glute if you're doing the same side as me. And 5, like a starfish. And down. Woo. Okay. Forward fold for a moment, and let's set up for the other side. Okay? So same setup. You want to have your, now you're going to be standing on your right leg. Okay, and then the blocks will be slightly forward of you so that they're underneath your shoulders. Okay, and then you're gonna rotate, open, and closed. Good, 2, and closed. Good, 3 more. And 4. Good, and 5. Okay, one side might be a lot easier than the other, and so that just tells you that maybe we need to work more on the other side. Okay, wonderful. So that concludes our muscle activation and strength section. Thank goodness. Okay, now we're moving into the second mobility portion of our workout. We're going to start with sun salutations and a pigeon pose. This time we're going to incorporate the full version of the vinyasa, if that's appropriate for you. Usually the main difference would be upper body strength and shoulder integrity, I guess. So if this is not appropriate for you, then just go ahead and do the version we did earlier with the baby cobra and the child's pose. Okay? Move these aside. Okay, so we're going to start at one side of your mat, one end of your mat. Very similar to before. Okay, inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. And we're going to go into our vinyasa here. So plant your hands, step back to plank. And this time, if you're doing the full version, you're going to inhale, shift forward, and really engage your abs. Exhale, just come down halfway. Okay, and then inhale to up dog. So if you went all the way to the ground, only do the baby cobra. Don't do this version. Yeah, it's too much for your back. Okay, and then exhale back to down dog, or if you're doing the other version, it would be child's pose. From here, if you're doing this version, you're going to inhale the right leg up, and then exhale, bring the shin across from you like this. So if you're doing this from a child's pose, just kind of sneak that leg forward. Yeah, this is just a fancier way to get into it from the downward facing dog. Okay, once you're here, you want to have your hips squared and then laying forward. This is a stretch for the piriformis, the outer right hip that we're doing right now. So we're going to hold this one for about 3 breaths. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. So we're doing it now because you should be much warmer. It should be much easier to do some of these stretches than at the beginning of the workout. Good, okay. And then you're going to press on up, kick the leg up if you did that version, and then the other leg is gonna come up and then into your pigeon pose here, just like so. Okay, holding that for about 3 breaths here. then you're going to come back, kick that up into the downward facing dog again, and you're gonna just do one more version of the vinyasa. Halfway, and then up dog, exhale back, good. And then from here, you soften the knees, you can step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up, flat back, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, arms overhead, and exhale, hands to heart center. Wonderful. So for the next one, we're coming down to the ground. We're going to do an elevated bridge. Okay. So you guys will remember that a bridge just looks like this, yeah? And I've mentioned before in different workouts that the bridge can be used for different purposes. So for personal training or strength and conditioning, a lot of times we'll use the bridge to strengthen the glutes, yeah? So you would contract the glutes. But for yoga, it's a little different. For yoga, you use it more to stretch the front side of your body, almost like a wheel prep, right? We will not be doing the wheel today. But you know, to stretch the front side of the body, open up the throat and chest area, and that's the version that we're going to work on now, okay? So what we're gonna do is you're gonna have your thighs about hip width distance apart, and then you're going to press into your heels to lift the hips, and if you can, you're gonna lift your hips so that you can fit your hands underneath the small of your back, okay? If this is bothersome for your wrist at all, then just do it without the hands there. Excuse me, but I find that this does provide a little extra lift, and then you can almost feel a little more restful as you feel like the whole chest and hip flexor front side of your body relaxing. So you're gonna do 5 breaths here. Okay, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. I thought about demonstrating a wheel, but I'm just not super comfortable with doing that in a video without, you know, human supervision in 3D. So we're doing this version. Good, and then to get out of that, you just undo the arms and then roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Great. Okay, now we have it's actually more like a bonus third mobility stretch or exercise. It is quite, you know, not everyone's going to be able to do this right away, and so I'm going to offer other alternatives as well. Okay, so what it is though, it is Gomukhasana or cow-faced pose, and the full version looks like this. You're going to do the stacked knee stretch that we did last time, and then you're also going to take, you know, whichever side arm is the lower leg, you're going to take that arm up, and then you're going to do this clasp thing here, or like this. If you have a yoga strap or towel, you can also hold on to it if you can't quite reach the hands to clasp each other. That would look like this. Like that. Yeah, so that's an option for you. And if the stack knee stretch is too much for your knees or your hips, just like what we said last time, you can always do a seated figure 4 stretch instead, which looks like this. Yeah, and then just take that bottom leg, the same side as the bottom leg, and do it this way, okay? But let me demonstrate the full version now. Okay, so I'm going to start with mirroring you. This is your right leg underneath, and then now raise your right arm up, bend at the elbow, and then catch those fingers with your left hand. If you can, your spine is going to be upright, and your shoulders are going to be open, so not like this. Yeah, that is less productive for our purposes, and your chin will be level. Just trying to maneuver around my hair here. Okay, inhale, nice and tall, and then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. 5 breaths from here. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Good, and use your abs to pull yourself up and unravel those arms. We're gonna do the other side. So I'll do the other side facing the side so that you can see what it looks like from that angle. So now your left leg is gonna be on the bottom, the right leg on top, into your stack knee stretch or the figure four stretch, if that was your version. And now your left arm is going to come up first, bend at the elbow, and then catch those fingertips with your right hand. Inhale nice and tall. Oh, you see too much back extension, so you want to bring the ribs in. Yeah, I hope I wasn't doing that on the other side. Okay, inhale up and exhale, forward fold. 5 breaths from here. Okay. And when I'm doing this, I'm not letting my arms like push me down. I'm using the strength of my spine and my thoracic spine, my neck, my head to just keep everything in neutral. Good. And then coming on up, using your abs, unravel. Great, and that concludes the second mobility part of our workout today. Okay, now we are going to move into the breathing and music portion of our workout. You guys definitely earned it today. It was a lot of work. You can see I'm very sweaty. So if you like, you can do this seated, upright. We've worked so much on your posture this month. Hopefully you're noticing a difference in how easy it is just to sit in a good posture, yeah? So if you like, you can come onto a block and then have your sits bones right on top. And again, that will allow your thighs to be lower than your hips. We've said before you can use a cushion instead of a block if that's better for you. Personally, I prefer the block because it's so stable and it doesn't allow you to like accidentally roll your sits bones, pelvis out of alignment. But if that's all you have, that's totally fine. You can also sit in a chair if this is better for you. Okay, so today's music will be a piece written by Fauré. And it is his 4th Barcarolle. So I just wanted to highlight that because it is a barcarolle is basically music that's sung by the gondoliers, right? So it's very like lilting and rolling. You'll hear these arpeggios up and down. So it's actually a really good piece for breathing. There's so much of that regular rhythm. So as you listen to the music, assuming I don't mess up, you're going to inhale as the arpeggios start up, the notes start rising up, and then exhale as the wave comes down, okay? And I hope you enjoy this piece. I've had a lot of fun working on it, and I hope you enjoyed this workout. Thanks so much for your hard work.